Good day, everyone, especially to our professor, Dr. Lasminda Machete of Bohol Island State University, Candihay Campus. My name is Alvar Busano Pasos, and for today, we will discuss on how to craft or to design a curriculum. Designing a curriculum is not easy. It is a complicated process that needs to be carefully thought through and involves much strategic decision making. According to Cornerstone's education.co.uk, these are the steps to design or to craft your curriculum, whether you are starting from scratch or reviewing your existing curriculum. Step number one, principles and purpose. Set out the intent of your curriculum. Begin by establishing your curriculum principles. Your curriculum principles need to reflect your school's values, context, pedagogical approaches, and needs. In essence, your principles should clarify the vision for your curriculum. Just a tip, discuss and define your curriculum principles, vision, and intention with all stakeholders. Step 2, Entitlement and Enrichment. Develop your people entitlement. After clarifying your principles and purpose, you should set out your people entitlement, sometimes known as people offer. Your people entitlement should explain how you intend to broaden your curriculum with educational visits, extracurricular activities, and other curriculum enrichment experiences. A tip, consider what your people will experience as they move through school and map these out for each year group. Link your entitlement to your curriculum principles where possible. Step 3, breathe and balance. Curate the content of your curriculum. You now need to arrange your curriculum content into subject schemes. Begin by looking at the programs of study and make careful choices about what you will teach, when, and why. Decide which concepts and subjects aspects your curriculum will cover and how they interconnect with other subjects. You'll then need to break this down into smaller component parts, which are the knowledge and the skills objectives that provide building blocks for learning. This should be carefully sequenced, revisited, and built upon through your curriculum. These decisions will eventually form your school's long term curriculum plan. Tip, you should underpin each subject scheme with a sequence skills and knowledge framework. You can do this by breaking the national curriculum programs of study into progressive steps that provide subjects and points. The aim is to help children build a deep body of knowledge that enables them to perform increasingly complex skills. Step 4, teaching narrative. Plan the delivery of your curriculum. After creating your long term curriculum plan, you will need to provide context for delivering it. For subjects like history, the national curriculum sets out various contexts that must be covered, such as the ancient Egyptians. However, for subjects like art and design, you can create your own engaging context. The teaching narrative within each project or unit should set out how learning will be delivered. It should be sequenced and cohesive, clearly showing the starting point and how the project develops. Crucially, your planning needs to show how the subject knowledge and skills outlined in your long term plan will be taught, revisited, and built upon. This process is very complex and takes time to perfect. However, when completed, it will set out your medium term plan, which you can elaborate on in short term plans if required. Make the planning process easy so that teachers can create, adapt, and share plans with others. Ideally, ensure that you have integrated quick assessment for learning methods in place to support teachers as they deliver the curriculum. Step 5, resources. Source high quality resources to deliver your curriculum. Your curriculum should not be let down by poor quality or ad hoc resources. Inadequate resources will not only dilute the power of your curriculum, but can also cause confusion and even misinformation. Sourcing the best quality resources is vital if you want your children's learning to be factually correct and ambitious. To make your curriculum the best it can be, insist on high quality resources and practical equipment. Don't reduce the impact of your curriculum by accepting anything less. A tip: create or source high quality resources to support your lessons rather than the other way around. Keep a school-wide overview of resources to avoid unnecessary repetition and ensure that content builds in complexity. Step number 6: review and evaluate. Decide what works well and where there is room for improvement. You now have an established curriculum. The next step is to regularly review its impact on teaching and learning, making any adaptations or changes you need to improve it further. At this stage, you may also identify continuing professional development or CPD needs for your teachers. For example, the knowledge of subject teachers might need to improve to make sure that each area of the curriculum is well taught and supported. Check the monitoring subject coverage and progression and assessment for learning are live and integral parts of your curriculum. As a recap on how to craft or design a curriculum, the steps are: number one, set out the intent of your curriculum, your principles and purpose. Number two, entitlement and enrichment, develop your people entitlement. Then breathe and balance, curate the content of your curriculum. Teaching narrative, plan the delivery of your curriculum. Your resources, source high quality resources to deliver your curriculum. And lastly, review and evaluate. Decide what works well and where there is room for improvement. And that ends our video on how to craft or to design the curriculum. I hope you learned something for today's video. Thank you for watching and see you again.